Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a really cool story. I'm going to go over a book that was sent to me by the Black and White Interceptor. He sent that to ninjanationreport@gmail.com. I really appreciate it. The book is called War is a Racket. And I think we're going to be able to learn from this book how 21,000 millionaires and billionaires were made because of World War I. Now, he was a major in the Marine Corps. He fought in several wars, and he got in some hot water by writing this book. And rightly so, because, you know, a lot of billionaires and millionaires were made on the backs of the United States people. You know, that's a lot of money in war. When all else fails, go to war. Now, before we get going, please hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell if you like this kind of content. And I do have a sponsor today. Thank you so much to UROY. They are my largest holding in the uranium space. And uranium kind of ties into this story. The book is called War is a Racket. Fortunes are made. World War I, 21,000 new millionaires and billionaires were made. Some untrackable. Some people told the government what they made. A lot of them didn't, for obvious reasons. Businesses that do well during war. This is what I want to talk about the most. Shipbuilders, manufacturers, meat packers. This is where it gets interesting. DuPont average earnings from 1910 to 1914 were $6 million average a year, pre-war. In the war, it jumped to $58 million a year. Bethlehem Steel, $6 million average a year, and $49 million average during war. See, these are the kind of things we want to find as we approach a war that seems to be inevitable. Whether it's cold or whatever, there's going to be some things that do really good. The United States Steel, 105 million pre-war to 240 million during the war. I'm gonna let these chickens out real quick. Kind of just hanging out saying, why ain't you let me out yet? Copper, Anaconda copper. You gotta have copper if you're gonna go to war. That's the next thing that did really good. Anaconda copper, 10 million average pre-war, 34 million during war. Utah copper did 5 million pre-war, 21 million during war. And they grouped these with 3 other smaller companies, and they did like 200%. You know, not bad. International Nickel Company, 4 million pre-war, 73 million during the war. 4 million before, 73 million during. Some of these companies do really, really well. Wait till we get to the energy. Congress reported corporate earnings profits of 122 meat packers, 153 cotton manufacturers, 299 garment makers, 49 steel plants, and 340 coal producers. This is where it gets good. This is the energy part I was telling you about. 340 coal producers. Now, out of these 340 coal producers, they did 25% pre-war. Now, during the war, they did somewhere between 100% and 7,856%. There's going to be some really, really wild swings in energy during war times. Now, the shoe people did pretty good. Shoe people made big profits selling abroad to our allies. Manufacturers in armament also did very well, and they sold to the enemy as well. A dollar was a dollar to them. The shoe people sold Uncle Sam 8 pairs of shoes per soldier. There was 4 million soldiers that were only issued 1 pair of shoes. There was 25 million pairs of shoes left over after the war. Talking about government waste, it's unreal. There was enough leather left over to make hundreds of thousands of McClellan saddles to issue to the cavalry. The mosquito net manufacturing people made it out pretty good too. They sold 20 million mosquito nets to the U.S. government that never made it to France. And let's not forget about the airplane manufacturers. $1 billion worth of airplanes and engines were built to use in the war. That never made it to France, in battle anyway. Just over and over, you see the same thing. 4 million sets of knapsacks and etc. was left over after the war. I actually had a few sleeping bags and long underwear and stuff like that. It was just, you know, overbought and not used. 6,000 buckboards were used because the colonels, somebody talked the U.S. government into saying the colonels didn't need to ride horseback or drive in cars. They needed buckboards. $3 billion worth of ships was manufactured for the war. 635 million of those were wooden. Now, a portion of the ships did okay, but $365 million worth of ships were built from wood that split, would leak, and some would sink. So quality control wasn't very good. So out of the $52 billion war cost, only $39 billion made it to the war. But I would say overall, the energy made the biggest jump. Coal. Now, you know, the green weenies hate coal. Hate it. They don't want to use it anymore. That's fine. What's the next thing? It's not wind, it's not solar, it's uranium. All right, guys, there's a reason why UROY is my largest uranium holding. They have $127 million in cash. They don't need to spend that money or any of their money on drilling, moving dirt, a drill program, drilling results, all these things. They don't need any of that. They've got 15 royalties already that are set up to make money. The company is run by Amir Anani. Amir has been on the front lines of this. He has been crushing it in the uranium space, and he is known for these calculated bets to be where the puck is going, get there early, assume broken clock status, and be right in the future. That's what I think he's doing now. H.C. Wainwright has a price target of $5.70. It's trading right now at $2.09. You saw in the book War is a Racket that energy, coal, did really good. Like from 100% up to 7,000 some odd percent. Well, we also know the green weenies don't like coal. That's, you know, that was World War I. Where are we going to get the energy in 2023, 2025, 2030? I think it's going to be from the uranium space. It's going to be from actual green energy. These small plants is what I think, these small plants that make a ton of electricity is the future, and I think those plants are uranium. They are the first movers because they are already in position. They're sitting on a bunch of cash. They've got a ton of assets. They've already got a ton of uranium, 1.5 million pounds, mucho tons of uranium, and they're set up. They're ready to go. That's why it's my largest holding. So guys, have an awesome, awesome day. I'll see you in the next one. Later.